You write fewer commissioned corridos, citing fatigue, citing family obligations, hoping they'll slowly forget about you. They don't forget. A visit comes in year 6. The same polite tone, the same unspoken threats. They've noticed you pulling back. They're concerned. They want to make sure everything is okay, that you're still committed, that the relationship remains strong. The visit ends with a commission you can't refuse. A corrido for the new regional boss, the one who replaced the man from your first song, the cycle continuing. You write the song. You record it in the same professional studio where your career began. You perform it at an event where the new boss sits in the front row, watching you sing his mythology into existence. He thanks you afterward, calls you a treasure, says your voice is the sound of Sinaloa itself. You smile. You shake his hand. You go home to Elena and your son, and you don't sleep. Year 7. Your brother calls from Culiacan. He's followed your footsteps after all. Started writing his own corridos, caught the attention of people who appreciate his talent. He's excited. He's proud. He wants your advice on how to navigate the world you've navigated. You tell him to stop. You tell him to find another path. You tell him everything you've never told anyone about what this life costs. He doesn't listen. Of course he doesn't. You didn't listen either when you were young and hungry and convinced that talent would protect you. Your brother writes his corridos. He catches the attention you caught. He begins the journey that led you here, to a house you can't leave, and a career you can't quit, and a family you're terrified of losing. A rival organization decides to send a message in year 8, not to you directly, to the organization that sponsors you. They kill a singer, someone like you, someone whose corrido celebrated the wrong people. They leave the body in public, make sure the message is clear. Singing for cartels has consequences. Glory is temporary. Everyone is vulnerable. You receive a security detail after that. Men who follow you to performances, who sit outside your house at night, who remind you constantly that you're valuable enough to protect, and therefore valuable enough to target. Elena is terrified. She wants to leave, to take your son somewhere far from Sinaloa, somewhere the corridos don't reach. You want that too. You just don't know how to get there. Year 9. Your grandfather's accordion sits in the corner of your living room. You haven't played it in months. It feels wrong to touch it with hands that have written what you've written. Your son is 4 now, old enough to be curious about music, old enough to ask why daddy's guitar stays in its case. You tell him you're taking a break. You don't tell him that every note reminds you of what you've become. The organization asks for another corrido. A major one. The Oyabun himself, the man at the top, wants his story told. Not because he's dying, but because he wants to control the narrative while he's alive. He wants a mythology that shapes how people see him, that outlasts whatever fate has planned. He wants you to write it. You write it. What else can you do? You pour everything into the song. All your skill, all your craft, all the storytelling techniques your grandfather taught you. You create a masterpiece about a man who has murdered hundreds, who has destroyed communities, who has built an empire on suffering. You make him sound like a hero. You make him sound like a legend. The song is released. The song is loved. The song cements your position as the greatest narco-corrido singer of your generation. You're famous. You're protected. You're trapped. Your son learns to walk. He learns to talk. He learns to sing along with songs on the radio, simple melodies about sunshine and animals, and the innocent things children should sing about. You watch him and wonder what he'll think someday, when he's old enough to hear the songs his father wrote, when he understands what the words really mean. You were supposed to be a folk musician. You were supposed to carry your grandfather's accordion into the future, to pass down songs that told stories worth telling. Stories about love and struggle, and the beauty of the land where your family has lived for generations. Instead, you became a voice for violence, a poet for killers, a legend maker for men who don't deserve legends. The music was never supposed to be this. Your grandfather never imagined this. The music became this anyway. You became this anyway. And every time you open your mouth to sing, you become it too. Every melody, every verse, every perfect note carries the weight of what you've chosen. The accordion sits in the corner, silent, waiting. Maybe someday you'll play it again. Maybe someday you'll remember how. But not today. Today there's another corrido to write. There's always another corrido to write. That's a wrap. The story is fiction, but narco-corrido singers are real. Right now, in studios across Mexico, artists are writing songs that glorify violence for organizations, that commission mythology the way corporations commission advertisements. The music is beautiful. The music is tradition. The music is also propaganda. If this made you think, drop a comment. Subscribe for more.